As amazing as football is, some moments just completely make your heart shatter. Like the case of T.Y. Hilton. Back in 2014, the Colts were set to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the wideout and his wife began their day in the hospital as a result of the birth of his daughter, Eugenia. This brought about speculations about whether T.Y. would be available, but not only was he on the gridiron, he played the game of his life, registering with the team leading 122 yards receiving and a 73-yard touchdown that was followed with a cradle celebration for his newborn. During his post-match with a CBS reporter, Hilton couldn't hold his joy back and literally began to shudder while he was talking. He explained how emotional he was and what his stellar performance meant for him and his family. Before I left the hospital, I told her, "You want a touchdown ball or do you want the game ball?" I just wanted to go out there and play for her and give her my all. After the game, his head coach Chuck Pagano handed him the match ball as his kind gesture. Every single moment of that game was wonderful. Well, not all tributes are happy ones, as Marquise Goodwin's tribute back in 2017 was full of despair. While he still played for the 49ers, the wide receiver was having a super game against the Giants, and everyone was loving it. To finish it off and hand his side their first victory that season, Marquise caught a thrilling 83-yard touchdown. But instead of celebrating like the fans of the Bay Bombers, he went down on his knees, said a little prayer, and completely burst into tears. Nobody really knew what was up with him. But after the game, Marquise made a shocking revelation. Unfortunately, we lost our baby boy due to some complications and had to prematurely deliver him early this morning, around 4 a.m. He and his family had just faced one of the worst forms of pain. It was really painful, because even the footballing universe were expecting little Marquise, as the couple had posted the baby's sonogram after announcing the pregnancy. Torrey Smith also battled his emotions on the field, but this time, it was after the death of his brother. Back in 2012, the Baltimore Ravens went up against the Patriots, and wide receiver Torrey Smith was having a party of a game, racking up 127 yards and 2 touchdowns on 6 catches. The then 23-year-old carried his side to victory. But behind all that intensity, Smith had a battle deep down in his heart. Hours before the game, his 19-year-old baby brother, Kevin Chris Jones, had lost his life in a motorcycle accident on Route 672 in Northeast Virginia. Smith was asked to drop out of the game, but instead, he came and gave his undented 100%. Well, 3 years later, Quan Alexander unfortunately faced a very similar fate. During Alexander's rookie year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2015, his 17-year-old brother, Broderick Taylor, was unfortunately killed during a fight in their hometown of Anniston, Alabama. Despite losing his brother, the linebacker turned up as an unstoppable force for his side in less than 48 hours of his family's tragedy, bagging 11 tackles, an interception, and a fumble recovery in the Bucs' overtime clutch victory against the Falcons. Alex completely turned up for his baby brother. That was just his 7th game in the NFL. And during a post-match interview with ESPN, he explained that everything he did on the gridiron that day was for Taylor. That being said, Eric Berry's return came with joy in the NFL. Just weeks before turning 26, Eric was forced to halt his career after being diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. As a result, the safety missed the end of the 2014 season for the Chiefs. Considering how amazing his career had been since his rookie days, losing such talent would have been a big blow for the NFL. Hence, everybody sent their support for his recovery. And was it helpful? Yeah! With Eric's soldier-like mentality and the love he received, it took him 7 months to tackle cancer. That was even faster than his recovery from a torn ACL back in 2011. 10 months after his diagnosis, Eric returned to the Arrowhead Stadium for the 2015 Pro Bowl season, and his arrival was received with a lasting standing ovation from the Chiefs fans. Although they lost the game to the Broncos, Eric's return was the biggest highlight of the night. Next up, the NFL world here showed that it's always more than just football. January 26, 2020. We lost one of the greatest sportsmen of all time. That was the day Kobe and his daughter Gianna died from a terrible helicopter crash, and it froze the world. Well, this unfortunate event happened during the NFL Pro Bowl, and the players paid their tributes during the game. They did numerous basketball celebrations, and Devontae Adams even hit a 360 dunk after a touchdown in respect of Kobe. When the news reached the fans in Orlando, they chanted Kobe's name throughout the rest of the game. And it was spine-chilling to whoever heard this rhythm. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. However, I doubt if that beats this next bar, considering how high Pat McAfee went for the Enos. During the 2013 annual Veterans Day, the NFL decided to use the halftime break of the Colts vs. Ram game to appreciate all soldiers that put their lives on the line for us every day. So, Pat McAfee was directed to give Christine Eno and her boys a brand new SUV. Considering the horrible state their present vehicle was in, Christine Eno's husband, Jeremy Eno, was in Afghanistan. Well, that was what she and her boys knew. When Bluey the mascot opened the doors of the car, Jeremy came out, and his family rushed into his hands. It was more than lovely. Even Pat couldn't hold his emotions. And I'm certain Big Bluey had tears running down behind that mask. A family reunion in front of thousands of people? Amazing! Well, as exceptional as it was, it can't top the greatest comeback of all time. The story of the Washington's quarterback's return from an injury that almost ended his life is in the NFL history books. You see, back in 2018, Alex Smith's side faced the Houston Texans, and during a scramble, he suffered a compound fracture to his right tibia and fibula. It looked like the end, as he had to go through 17 series of surgeries, couldn't walk, and almost had his leg amputated. But Alex didn't stop fighting. He went on to make his epic return in 2020 against the LA Rams. And although his side lost 30-10, he still remained the hero of the game. And of course, the football universe praised him for his resilience. His fight for his career was crowned as the greatest comeback ever in the history of the game. However, his case is minor when placed side by side with Damar Hamlin's, who almost lost his life. The beginning of 2023 came with a massive scare. When Bills' safety, Hamlin, went down in a very awkward manner. On the 2nd of January, the Bills faced the Bengals on Week 17. That game was set to be one of the best Monday Night Football games in the history of the competition, considering how important it was for both sides. Well, with just 6 minutes left in the first quarter, Bengals' wide receiver, T. Higgins, dashed downfield with a 50-yard pass. Hamlin then went in for the tackle, taking Higgins' crossbody and by the helmet, but at the same time, Higgins' shoulder shattered his chest. What made the whole situation complicated was that Damar was able to get back to his feet immediately after the tackle. But then a crash down followed suit. The once roaring arena became still. Everybody was scared to the bone, and his family came down to the field. He was rushed to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, and it was later revealed that the hit had Damar suffer a commotio cordis, a rare cardiac arrest. After he was taken out of the field, the NFL ordered the game to go on, but both teams left the field. The game was postponed, but later canceled. Fans from all over the world showed their support, and his Chasing M's Foundation saw a massive donation of over $8.7 million. Thankfully, Hamlin was able to respond to treatment speedily, and on the 5th of January, he was awake. The doctor in charge of Hamlin, Dr. Timothy Prittis, reported that his first words when he woke up were, "Did we win?" And Prittis' response was, "Yes, Damar. You won. You won the game of life." To round off this episode, this is what happened when Tom Brady got asked this question by 7-year-old Joseph Perez at the Super Bowl media conference in 2017. Brady couldn't control the waves of emotion that flooded his mind when a matter of his father came up. After that, he managed to get himself together, but paused and kept repeating the word, Dad. Brady explained how important his father has been in his career and his life as a whole. This shows how the influence of an amazing father on his son remains undefeated. A big shout out to all the good dads in the world, and the moms as well. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe.